welcome to another Vinvana Mastermind. And today we have the infamous Troy Matthews with us with Galaxy Home Services. I know a bunch of us have had Troy over to our house to do, landscaping work, termite treatments, pest control, so many jobs. And he is basically a household name with our Vinvana members. And so today is the perfect opportunity to ask Troy a few questions to make sure our homes are holiday ready. So what Troy and I did is we came up with a little Q&A here of questions, and he is going to provide what he thinks is the best way to answer these questions and make sure, not only because if you think about it, your home for the holiday is cool out, you're probably going to have friends and family over. You're going to be doing things around your home that you might not necessarily do throughout the year. So these are things to really look out for while you are doing things around the home. So without further ado, Troy, how are you doing?
Good morning, everybody. How are you?
Good. So Troy, can you just give us a little bit about who you are and how Galaxy Pest Control is now Galaxy Home Service and what you've been up to this year?
Yeah, so a year and a half ago, I started the pest control company, and a friend of mine who does landscaping decided he wanted to go on his own, and so we added landscaping to the company. And we were Galaxy Pest Control and Landscaping. And then I met a guy who does concrete, pavers, hardscape, and then we added that to the menu. And so then we changed the name to Galaxy Home Services to encompass everything that we can do on the outside of your home.
Well, Troy, are you ready to do a little Q&A here?
I am.
Okay, so as we are decorating our homes or businesses, what are the telltale signs that you might have termites?
Well, a lot of people this time of year are painting their house or putting up Christmas lights, and they start nailing or painting, and they notice that there's a indentation in the wall, or soft. That's a good sign of termites. Or you'll see these mud tubes going up the wall, or the stem wall, or coming out of the ceiling. That's also a sign of termites. And termites don't go away until they're treated. And it's not if you get termites, it's when you get termites.
So Troy, would you say it's, living here in Arizona, it's like you said, it's when you get termites. So even if you had a termite treatment, how long does a normal termite treatment last?
Depending on the product that's used, but typically it's between 4 and 7 years. Terminal promises that it will last 7 years, but all the other products say about 5 years.
And so do you recommend when you think your 4 to 7 years is up that you should get another treatment, whether you see signs or not?
I would say yes, because you could keep paying warranties to a pest control company. It's kind of like insurance, but they're just going to come back out and spot treat the area that has the problem. So after the 4 to 5 years, you're better off getting another treatment to make sure that the termites don't come back in and do more damage to the house.
Awesome. Okay, next question. Even though the temperature is getting cooler outside, should we still be concerned with critters? Are there any Arizona critters that like cooler weather? And where do they like to live? Have you noticed?
Well, now that it's getting cooler, things want to get into the house to get warm. So this is the mating season for rodents. So mice, rats, they're starting to reproduce, and they want to get in, and they want a safe place and a warm place for the babies. So you want to make sure that you check places that rodents can get in. Now, a mouse only needs a size of a dime hole, and a rat only needs the size of a quarter to get in. So you want to check around your home, make sure that you don't have any openings for them to get in. Also, roaches and scorpions are trying to get in at this time of year because it's warmer. They don't really stop during the season, so that doesn't change much. So you want to make sure that you have a good barrier spray down to help keep the critters out.
And I mean, I know from a personal standpoint, when you came over to our house and you saw cardboard in our garage. Cardboard, if you think about it, is a good bedding for rodents. So you kind of want to make sure anything that would make a good bedding is not there. Would you say?
That is very true. That is very true. So in your case, your garage was very full and there was lots of places for them to hide. But you mentioned the cardboard. That's also bad because, as you know, we treated your home for termites, and cardboard is a soft cellulose, so termites like that as well.
Okay, so what you're saying is get rid of all the cardboard in your house.
Well, if you don't need it, get rid of it. Yes.
Okay, so then, you know our precious cactus. And you know how people love to put their little Santa hats on their cactus or their red Solo cups, you know, anything that fits over the ends of the cactus. Can you tell us, is this necessary for when it gets cold or when we think there's going to be frost? And if it is, what temperature or what do we need to look for in the weather forecast to know to take care of our precious cactus?
So, even though it looks really nice to do that, and that's really the only benefit for it, cactus can survive just about anything. But when it does get down into the 30s, which doesn't happen very often, but it does happen here, you want to make sure that you take care of covering them up. So what you're looking for is the temperatures to drop below 40 degrees and have a higher moisture content.
And would you suggest like a sheet? Would a sheet be better than Santa hats?
A sheet or a landscape tarp would work. The Santa hats will work during the season, but they hold more moisture than they wick off.
Okay, so what you're saying is the whole point of putting a sheet or that landscaping cloth over it is to keep the water off of them, basically.
Yes, because that's what causes the frostbite. So Perfect. The water and the moisture gets on the plant, and then it gets cold, and then it gets frostbit.
Awesome. Okay, so then let's think about our other precious plants. For example, I know bougainvilleas are very susceptible here to frost. Are there any other plants that are susceptible to frost in here?
All plants are susceptible to frost. That's why you see a lot of landscapers cut a lot of the plants down low this time of year. So that way they don't get burned and they grow back stronger the following year. In fact, last year we did that with Kathleen's yard, as we cut a lot of the plants down lower, and when they came back this year, they came back stronger and fuller.
So even though, because I know I've seen a lot of blooming bougainvilleas right now, so even though the bougainvilleas are beautiful, if they get frostbitten, it might hurt them in the future.
Yes, because then it's going to take twice as long for it to regrow. So imagine burning your finger, even though you're going to heal, right? It takes longer to heal from a burn than it does a cut.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So then, yeah, like you said, it doesn't really get that chilly here, but it can get chilly here. So I know pre-emergent, especially when we're rounding out the holiday season and getting ready for, springtime. When do you suggest we do a pre-emergent to make sure that our beautiful rock landscapes don't get covered in weeds?
Well, January would be a good time for that to happen, because that way you get a good pre-emergent down, and then it's usually a wetter part of the season, so you have it down before the weeds start to germinate and protect, and then keep them from coming back up.
Can you kind of give us a little, like, what pre-emergent is, and what, I know, like we said, it helps control weeds from growing, but kind of give like a little backstory of what it is?
Yes, so post-emergent is when you have weeds and you spray them and you want to make sure that you kill what's there. A pre-emergent, so think about when you plant grass seed and you don't want grass there, but a seed goes on to the area. So a pre-emergent puts down a product that keeps them from germinating into the soil for them to keep coming back up.
Okay, so exactly. So a pre-emergent will help keep any areas that you want clean because
yes.
Things have been floating in the air, especially this fall and this winter. Oh my gosh, the wind's been blowing so much. Who knows how many seeds has dropped in our yards?
Yes, and the minute we get some rain, you're going to look out your yard and see nothing. And the minute it rains, you're going to see a million weeds a few days later.
Okay, so January is when we need to start getting our pre-emergent ready for the spring.
Yes.
Okay, so now, as we're taking down our holiday decorations, and as we are getting rid of our cardboard boxes in the garage, and we're like, oh my gosh, I have so much junk. I just have too much junk. Troy, you can haul. Can you give us a little info on the things that you can haul away? The haul, your hauling service of stuff.
Yeah, so we have a 8x12 trailer, and we have a 6x8 trailer, and we have 3 trucks. And so we can haul pretty much anything that you need taken away. Typically, the appliances, things like that, you're better off just putting an ad on Craigslist and have somebody come get those and help. You can help somebody make money by donating that stuff to them. But anything else that you want to get rid of, furniture, appliances, cardboard, yard waste, we'd be more than happy to take it to the dump for you. Typically, it is, for the big trailer, it's typically $350 to $400 to haul it away. And that includes the dump fees. And then we take it to your local dump. If there's stuff that you want to donate, we'd be more than happy to drop that off at Goodwill or Salvation Army or one of those places.
And does that also include, I know a lot of people are doing home remodels. So if you're personally doing a home remodel and, you put stuff outside, can you come and pick all that stuff up and take it to the dump? If there's like drywall and,
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Stuff?
Yes.
Okay, so
I can definitely do that.
Perfect.
Anything you want to get rid of, we'll find we'll take it to the dump, or we'll have some scrap person come pick it up.
Awesome. Now that you've gotten your place clean and you're good to go, now you're thinking, ooh, I need those paver installed, or I need that cement work, or I need that tile laid. What should a potential client have in mind or prepped before calling you? What do they need to know to make sure that when they give you a call that you two can, look at the area and get a proposal made?
Okay, so you want to know what you're looking for. Do you want concrete? Do you want pavers? What do you want your yard to look like? What functionality are you going to use your yard for? We're currently working on a project right now where these people want to entertain once COVID is over, and they want to turn their backyard into an entertaining area. So we're going to overlay the patio. We're going to add a patio with travertine. We're going to add a sidewalk, and we're going to add some trees and a flower bed. So what you want to do is have in mind what do you want your yard to look like? What kind of products do you want to use? And a budget in mind. That's the most important thing, because a lot of people say, oh, I want to put pavers in, and they're thinking it's only going to cost $400 or $500, and then they get an estimate for $1,200, and they're shocked. So what you
kind of do your research beforehand to really understand the products and what goes into doing it.
Yes. So questions that we're going to ask are, how much of an area do you want to cover? What kind of product do you want to use? Do you want to use pavers? Do you want to use travertine? Do you want concrete? Do you want tile? And then, of course, the functionality of your yard. And a lot of people, when we come in and start talking about it, they have all these ideas. And we can break it down to sections where you can afford it. And then I'm sure if you work with Mary Ellen, she will work with you on finding some trade credit to get that done.
I like it. Okay, awesome. So then, of course, to wrap up our last question, we have to talk about bees. Since we are the hive, since we are the community and the hive. So with that said, bees, obviously, they like to come here. And I understand, a lot of times it's the queen who comes, sits for a little while, and then moves on. But with that said, when do the bees kind of start moving, and what should we look for if we see them, or if we think we know that the bees are here, and then what should we do?
Well, the thing with the bees is that they're becoming less and less. Because people are trying to kill them off because they're scared, they're allergic. They see a big ball of bees on their tree, and as Mary Ellen just mentioned, the queen is moving, and so they're protecting the queen, and there's this big ball of bees. They're not aggressive until you mess with them. So if you just leave them alone, they'll move on in a day or two. We as pest control industry do not want to kill the bees. We would rather you call a beekeeper who will smoke them and move them for you.
Do you have anything else that you'd like to share to make sure while people are getting their homes holiday ready that they're looking out for?
Yeah. So if you want a free termite inspection that's without a report, if you're not selling your house, be more than happy to come take a look, and then we can take a look at anything else you want me to see. And then we're also, and I'm working with Mary Ellen on this. We're doing epoxy floors now for garages and patios, and we've done several over the last few months. And what they do is beautify your concrete. So a lot of people are working from home now, and they go out in the back patio and they go out in the garage and they see this ugly concrete. We're more than happy to take care of that for you. And we're running a special on that. If you spend $1,500 on epoxy flooring, I offer one free pest control service that's valued at $99.
Awesome. Well, Troy, you are literally a wealth of knowledge. Like I said before, I know many of our members have used you for multiple services. Awesome. Well, Troy, thank you so much for joining us and sharing with us your tips and tricks. and sharing your tips and tricks to make sure that our houses are looking good and that we are ready for the holiday season.